Hey guys, I'm back for another video, and today, I'm talking about Hytale again. And geez, that intro is just becoming a meme at this point. Well, anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the adventure mode, and more so towards PvE rather than PvP. And I'm going to make the argument that Hytale needs to be difficult. So in recent times, the games that I've been playing have had every reason to be enjoyable, every reason to be good. But I just can't help but put the game down and move on to something else. Like, for example, competitive online Minecraft, like Bed Wars. I can't get into something like Fallout 4 or survival Minecraft for that matter, because it's too easy. Everything's handed to you, to the point where you start to wonder, why am I even bothering to play this game? So not a lot of people know about this, but I've been playing Minecraft for almost 10 years now. I started playing in the alpha versions of the game just when the Nether was becoming a brand new thing. And there's one update that I will never forget from way back in the day, all the way in 2011. And that was the Adventure update, Beta 1.8. This update changed everything. It completely scrapped the idea of eating food to regain health, and it added the ability to sprint, it added hunger, it made it so bows had to be charged back in order to be shot, and it added things like endermen, villages, strongholds, rivers separating biomes, and it was honestly a crazy update, and it was received really well by the community. But there's something that was lost in that update. Just like Minecraft's post-release 1.8 update, Beta 1.8 also experienced a large change in combat. And of course, the ability to sprint is something that we take for granted nowadays, but back in the day, it didn't exist. And I'm going to make the argument that honestly, ever since the Adventure update, Minecraft has been too easy. There's a reason why creepers, for the longest time, have been seen as this terrifying and dangerous mob, right? Of course, when you're playing survival Minecraft, every now and then, yeah, you might die to a creeper, but it's really not that common because you could just sprint up to it, hit it, back up, and then sprint towards it again, get another hit on it, maybe even get a crit to do extra damage. But back in the old days of Minecraft, you couldn't run. You had to shuffle your way to and from things at the same speed. So if you turn around and there's a creeper right there, you're dead. You don't get the chance to run away. You have to shuffle away at a super slow speed, and usually it's not enough. And even more so of an example of this is skeletons. So we all know if you're walking towards a skeleton and you get shot, pretty much your walking speed gets completely negated by the arrow shot. And if you just kept walking in a straight line towards a skeleton, you would die eventually. And now, of course, since you could sprint, you could, evade the shots by strafing and then sprinting in a diagonal to dodge shots, and then take down the skeleton in like 2 hits. Barely a threat at all. Back in the old days of Minecraft, well, if there was a skeleton, not only was it extremely easy to just keep getting hit over and over and over again, but regenerating health was completely different. If you had no food on you, that's it. You can't regenerate health at all. There's no such thing as hunger, so there's no saturation to slowly heal you over time. And especially if you're in water. If you catch yourself in water getting shot by a skeleton, you have no choice but to retreat. And those situations, honestly, made the game better. And the reason being, right, for a good gameplay experience, there has to be highs and lows. And without the lows, the highs don't mean anything. So for a game like Minecraft, when it's extremely easy to take out a mob, then it's not satisfying. But say you've been struggling against a skeleton for a minute or so, and you find a way to like place blocks in front of yourself to like dodge the arrows, or you strafe just perfectly timed to dodge the arrows, and then you get up, get a hit on him, he hits you back with an arrow, and then you have to keep strafing, and maybe you have to retreat, do a tactical retreat, and then build a bunch of blocks again slowly approaching him, and then finally you get the second hit on him and he dies. That's a satisfying kill. And again, with a creeper, it's much harder to get a kill on a creeper when you can't sprint, because you can't run away fast. You have to just hit him and walk backwards, and you can time it right so that he won't blow up, but it is extremely difficult and takes a lot more skill. So I think Hytale needs to be difficult for that reason, because if the game's too easy, then people will take fights for granted, and mobs will just fade into obscurity in your memory. You won't have very memorable fights, and the entire thing will just kind of blend together and become this very playable, very easy experience that maybe you play through once, but then you don't pick it up again. And I think a perfect example of that is how a lot of players, me included, can't stand just playing regular vanilla Minecraft. Without spicing it up with mods or plugins, there's not much that is... Well, sure, there's plenty to do, but it's just so mundane. You could chalk that up to just us playing for a long time, and, you know, once you've played so many Let's Plays of a game, you just get sick of it. But I don't know. I think that's part of why people like the old version of Minecraft. There's, of course, nostalgia, but I also think it's the difficulty factor, not being able to run. And, of course, things like lava would be extremely scary as well, because you can't, like, parkour your way over things as easily. So, like, one wrong jump, and you can't sprint in midair to get slightly more velocity to escape things. And that's it. You die. So, I don't know. I would like to see Hytale be a very difficult game. And not necessarily for stupid reasons. I mean, there's plenty of stupid reasons why games are difficult. Like, I don't want to see, like, a mob that has 10 times the health of a mob from Minecraft, and you just got to keep spam clicking it, and it doesn't do much damage to you, but it's just, like, a tanky enemy that's, like, you know, really predictable, but it just takes forever to kill. Like, that's dumb. It needs to be difficult for other reasons. Like, for example, maybe it'd have the same amount of health as an enemy from an easier game, but it'd be way more difficult to land a hit. So maybe they'd be more evasive. Something like that would spice things up quite a bit. But of course, not in the way that a bat is hard to hit in Minecraft, because that just gets annoying. Of course, you know, there's a balance there. And while we're on the topic of difficulty, I think it'd be a great idea for example, if you're starting up your own single player experience or co-op experience, that you can set the difficulty from the start and it's locked at that difficulty forever. And if you do that, then you will have a badge that is displayed in your world that says something like, this world is game mode changing free or cheat free, and you'd be able to wear that badge with pride knowing that you played through the whole game on the hardest difficulty, and it's something to be proud of. And I think cheating in general is something that should be allowed, but the second you do it, then maybe that badge will go away, unless you specify it, of course, while making the world. But in conclusion, I think that Hytale should have situations where things are hopeless, where you will die. If you find yourself in a crappy situation, then it'll maybe make you think next time, okay, I shouldn't do this, or it will instantly result in me dying. And to be honest, if you're good enough at Minecraft, those situations just don't come up. Like, you can get yourself out of some pretty bad situations with, like, very limited resources. I mean, that's kind of how Skyblock works, you know, it's the whole concept of Skyblock. So I don't know. I think having a lot more situations where things are helpless and you have to run away or retreat, that would be cool. Because then it'd be all the more satisfying when you come back with better stuff and you just destroy that obstacle. Or just when you're walking into a fight and you don't know if you're ready, there's a level of excitement there. It's almost like in Minecraft when you're fighting other players. You don't know how good the other player is until you start fighting them. And then you get this rush of excitement when someone's really, really good and you have to really try harder to make that win happen. Well, anyway, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm gonna plug something a little different today. So, we know that Hytale is still a few months away, so while you're waiting, I would like to suggest my very own Minecraft server network, SubioCraft. The server has 3 game modes: Survival, Creative, and Skyblock. There's custom plugins installed on the server that I programmed myself, actually, and it's a great gameplay experience. If you'd like to log in and play for yourself, the IP address is play.subiocraft.net, and you might find me on there, or some of the people I record videos with. And of course, we have our very own Discord channel, which I will also link in the pinned comment and description down below. And yeah, it might be something fun to do while you're waiting for Hytale to come out. Why not? Well, anyway, that is it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.